In the smouldering embers of the 2008 financial crisis, a moment when the world's trust in its financial institutions had been utterly shattered, a rather extraordinary document appeared online. It was a white paper, a blueprint titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, authored by a name as mysterious as the concept it proposed, Satoshi Nakamoto. Who was Satoshi? A person, a collective of brilliant minds? We may never know for certain, and perhaps that is the point. This invention was not about a founder's ego or a corporate figurehead. It was a gift, offered anonymously to a world desperately in need of an alternative. A world weary of bailouts, opaque banking practices, and the unnerving feeling that the entire monetary system was a house of cards, teetering on the brink of collapse. Satoshi's proposal was breathtaking in its audacity and elegance. It laid out a system for digital money that could be sent directly from one person to another without passing through the hands of a bank, a credit card company, or any government intermediary. And so, on the 3rd of January 2009, the very first block of the Bitcoin network was mined into existence. Embedded within its code was a headline from the Times newspaper chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. This was no accident. It was a permanent, unchangeable reminder of why Bitcoin was created. So how on earth does this magic internet money actually work without the familiar comfort, or indeed control, of a bank? The answer lies in a concept that is both remarkably simple and profoundly revolutionary: a shared public ledger. Think of it like a giant global notebook that is open for everyone to see. Every single Bitcoin transaction that has ever occurred is recorded in this notebook, which is known as the blockchain. When Alice wants to send one Bitcoin to Bob, she doesn't call her bank manager. Instead, she broadcasts the transaction to a vast network of computers all around the world, each of which maintains a copy of this very same notebook. These computers, often called miners or nodes, work together to verify that Alice truly owns the Bitcoin she is trying to send. Once a consensus is reached among the network participants, a sort of digital democratic vote, the transaction is approved and added as a new entry into the global notebook for all to see. This process happens without a central headquarters, without a CEO, and without a customer service line. It is a system run by its users, for its users, governed by the immutable laws of mathematics rather than the ever-changing policies of a corporation. With Bitcoin, you hold the keys quite literally. You possess a cryptographic private key, a secret piece of code that grants you sole authority to spend your digital coins. As long as you protect that key, no one on Earth, not a government, not a bank, not a corporation, can prevent you from accessing or sending your money to anyone, anywhere, at any time. Let's delve a little deeper into this marvelous invention, the blockchain. Each block is a collection of recent verified transactions. Once a block is filled with transactions, it is cryptographically sealed and linked to the previous block, creating an ever-growing chronological chain. To alter a transaction in an old block, a bad actor would not only have to break the seal on that block, but also on every single block that has been added since. It's like trying to secretly change a single word in a book after millions of identical copies have already been distributed worldwide. The Bitcoin blockchain doesn't live on a single server in a corporate data center. It is simultaneously stored and updated on thousands upon thousands of computers across the globe. This distribution of power makes the system incredibly resilient. There is no central point of failure to attack. In many parts of the world, governments can and do weaponize the financial system against their own citizens. Because Bitcoin has no central authority, it is immune to this kind of political pressure. No single entity can dictate who is allowed to use the network or for what purpose. Moreover, this decentralized consensus mechanism ensures that the rules of the game cannot be changed on a whim. With Bitcoin, the rules are baked into the code and can only be changed if there is overwhelming consensus among the network's participants. It is a system governed by logic and consensus, not by power and decree. One of the most compelling and, honestly, easily understood attributes of Bitcoin is its absolute scarcity. While governments can, just print their currencies, be they dollars, pounds, or euros, into infinity, the supply of Bitcoin is strictly and permanently limited. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin in existence, not a single coin more. This number isn't a guideline or some policy target. It's an unchangeable mathematical law embedded in the core of the system. We know the total supply, we know the rate at which new coins are created, and we know that around the year 2140, the last fraction of a Bitcoin will be mined, and the issuance will stop forever. This creates a level of predictability and certainty that is simply non-existent in any traditional currency. This fixed supply makes Bitcoin a powerful antidote to the silent thief of inflation. Because Bitcoin's supply is finite, it behaves very differently. It is inherently deflationary by design. As the world's population and economy grow, a fixed amount of Bitcoin must serve an ever larger pool of economic activity, which naturally puts upward pressure on its value over the long term. For this reason, many folks have come to call Bitcoin digital gold. For millennia, humanity has used gold as a store of value precisely because it's scarce, durable, and difficult to produce. Bitcoin shares these characteristics but actually improves upon them for the digital age. This concept of digital scarcity is a monumental breakthrough. Before Bitcoin, anything digital could be copied and pasted with perfect fidelity an infinite number of times. Satoshi Nakamoto solved this double spend problem, creating the first ever truly scarce digital object. It provides a solid foundation, a digital bedrock upon which we can build a more stable and equitable financial future. So why is there such a groundswell of interest from ordinary people saving for their future to the largest financial institutions on Wall Street? The reasons are as varied as the people themselves, but they all converge on a few core principles. Individuals are turning to Bitcoin as a hedge, a life raft in a sea of monetary uncertainty. They're drawn to the idea of self-sovereignty, the ability to truly own and control their financial destiny without asking for permission. Institutions are waking up to Bitcoin's potential as a mature financial asset. They see it as a treasury reserve asset, a way to protect their balance sheets from the debasement of traditional currencies. The arrival of institutional capital lends credibility and stability to the network, creating a virtuous cycle of adoption and development. The contrast with our current system could not be more stark. The world of traditional money is one of chaos, opacity, and central control. Bitcoin offers clarity, its rules are transparent, its supply is fixed, and its network is open to all. It replaces the precarious foundation of human promises with the unyielding certainty of mathematics. We stand at a crossroads in history. The path we have been on is one of perpetual debt, endless money printing, and the steady centralization of power. Bitcoin offers a different path. It is a path towards a more equitable, open, and resilient financial world. It's a tool for empowerment, a check on authority, and a vehicle for economic freedom. It gives a voice to the voiceless and a bank to the unbanked. It is far more than just a new asset or a clever piece of technology. Bitcoin is not just the future of money, it's the future of freedom.